right, Black Box Radio. We have Coyan Lewis. Hey, Co.
Hey, Queen.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a lot of things, but I'm grateful. And I'm blessed. And those are two things I'm gonna sit on today. Grateful and blessed. So those ain't a bad place to be. So welcome to Black Box Radio and welcome to the RONAreport, of course. So tell the people what you do professionally so we can kind of unpack how this virus has affected that.
Professionally, I work for the district government. I work in the executive office of the mayor. I work for an office called the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. I've been employed there since August of 2010. I am, by education, I'm a social worker. Position with the government, I am a project manager and have been with that office since 2010. And my job is to oversee a human capital component, which is essentially working with residents in public housing across 4 communities in DC, from Northeast, Northwest, and South to Southeast. And we help move, we assist in moving residents forward, upward and onward, I'll say.
Okay.
It's very rewarding.
Because, when you deal with people, it's with this COVID-19, it has exhausted anything to deal face to face with people. So can't do that anymore. So with your job, how has this virus and our response to it affected your job and what you do?
Wow, it has taken a major impact on the job. But what I am most grateful for is that work continues, funding continues. So we haven't had to move any of our providers who work on the ground, on the properties, face to face, day in and day out with the residents that we serve. They're right there on a given day, on a typical day, they would be right there on the property. Monday through Friday, they would be, responding to emergencies or just adding resources to the lives of the families. But since we've had this stay-at-home order in place, they've been working remotely as the government employees have been as well. Well, those that are not considered like physically essential, like your firefighters, your, police department. But it has the impact, the toll that it has taken, however, is that if we're serving well over 1,000 households, there are families that are experiencing challenges, that they're experiencing challenges that they would typically be able to connect with somebody, face to face immediately to kind of just talk through a situation or to gather resources or assistance in areas. And they're not able to do that the same way they would if we were not in this kind of quarantine state.
Because COVID-19 definitely affects the follow-up. So it's very hard to follow up and do the things that people need extensive-wise because you have to be intimate. And we are definitely social distanced and it's not happening, unfortunately. A lot of those services are shut down until we get past this. Okay. So also you got a business, you got a little hustle. Holla at the people, shorty.
I do.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How's it affected that and what is it?
I will say it has had an awesome, this quarantine has had a major impact for the good where business is concerned, in that it has allowed me an opportunity to connect with more people. It is connecting virtually with people. It has allowed me to just have real steady, consistent follow up and follow through and just plugging people in where with my schedule, I'm also a single parent as well, moving my daughter around, reporting to work and attending meetings all over the different communities. My job comes first. So my business, while I work that on a very part-time basis, I've been able to increase that to working it full-time as well, the same way I do my job from the comfort of my home. I'm a health and wellness ambassador for a company called Bula Vita. I've been with the company since the fall of 2017, and it is a company that has had a life-changing impact on not only my life, but the many, many lives where I was I was living, let's say, before I took this challenge, this health challenge, before I really became intentional about my health. I I was obese. I suffered from depression, and I didn't need a clinician to tell me I was depressed. I was also living with hypertension, and my hypertension, I carried my high blood pressure for over 13 years, and I've had 4 near fatal experiences with that. One being on average during that time, my pressure would be anywhere from like 160 to over 110. On average with medication. My worst case was when I developed preeclampsia when I was 31 weeks pregnant with my daughter Blue, and my pressure had gotten up to 300 over 180. When that happened, I was thinking I had gas pains, went into the hospital, and lights, bells, whistles, everything going off. And then I just felt like there was so much happening around me, but I wasn't there, but I could physically see what was happening. And I just saw the urgency in the doctors' faces, and they were essentially trying to keep me alive. And so their first concern was to save my life and then to save my daughter's life, my unborn child at that time. And luckily we came through it. Many women do not survive preeclampsia. So I am very fortunate to have come through that. But fast forward, in 2017, the late 2017, I connected with an old friend from high school who had been and still is very successful with this company. And I just noticed people's lives were transforming. Fat loss. We call it fat loss, not weight loss. Fat loss, just people melting away, healthy, living life, loving life. And I just needed a little bit of what they were going through. I connected with her. And when I did that, Queen, my God, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The best thing that could have ever happened. I lost 45 pounds.
Ouch.
We can't give a time frame, but I'll just tell you, it didn't take a whole lot. Okay. We can't say I'll just keep it at that. I lost 45 pounds. I've been able to maintain that. I am approaching 50. I'm almost 50 years old. I look good. I feel good. And my blood pressure has been stable. And as you can probably feel my energy through the phone, sister ain't depressed, okay?
When I tell you all of your teeth are out, I feel like I'm smiling in front of me. I love that,
And my eyes are closed from
smiling, and I love that because we're in a very uncertain time.
Yes.
And for you to be happy and passionate, it's because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's really what it is. And sometimes we need this reset to do what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And not that work is not important, because yes, we have to take care of our families and we have responsibilities. But we have seen in this COVID-19 that there is an ability for us to work from home and get out of the stress of going into the office so much.
Come on.
And work more at home, and also develop our lives outside of work. That's what makes us better citizens.
Come on.
You heard me, Trumpy?
Come
I know
on.
you listen to the RONAreport, bro.
So I have a question for you.
Y'all serious? Go ahead.
Yeah. I can meet him right where he is too. I can go.
No, it's fine. How has you said you've been able to transition into a more full-time effort in your business. How has the way that your business been received differently compared to before? I know that in terms of the way the customers or potential customers are responding to what you have to offer, have you noticed a difference in that, or is it just more time to put into doing the things that you would normally always do?
That is an excellent question. And I can sum it up to say that my business has grown. My business has grown immensely, where we're on average, the normal day, non-quarantine life, on average, Coyan could probably bring in about maybe two new ambassadors. That would be a person that wants to come in and be a wholesale customer, or a person that wants to be they want to work their business or learn the business and work a business like I do, because you can do one or the other. It doesn't matter. I on average, I'd gain maybe 2 people a month, and that would be good. In April, in March, I think I gained 5 new people.
Mm.
In April, I gained 10 people. and between March and April, just one check, because with our company, you can be paid up to 4 or 5 times a month. Those are weekly checks, and then an overall monthly check. My overall monthly check was greater than any other check that I have received in the 3 years that I've been working the business. And I grind. I grind. Even on a very part-time, non-quarantine day, I still grind. I go after the bonuses and everything, and I try to achieve, and I have been successful in doing that. But when I tell you that not only have I gained more people just personally to my organization, my mother and my other business partners in my organization, and then across the board, we have all collectively built our business up in ways that we haven't experienced just in 2020. I'll just say 2020. And our earnings have been greater as well, just in these last month. We just started in May, but the last 2 months. So I hope that answers the question, Jared.
Wow. Well, I think you answered the questions, but I also think that because we're in such an uncertain times and people are understanding and seeing that health has a factor in your life and you living, and with this virus, the more healthy you are, the more better positioning you're in. And I think if you have people this year who have a health and wellness business, you are on the cusp of greatness, because everybody's trying to do things with their health. Everybody's talking about sea moss and ginger and turmeric. So the good thing about your products is it kind of is the toast of the day. It's the toast of the night right now, because everybody's trying to get healthy.
Right. And can I add something, Queen?
Sure. Because
you just sparked something. So like with the company that we served, and I'm glad you just raised that point, with the company that I'm a part of, our leadership is so thoughtful, and they're so in tune to what's happening in the world that we're in, that it's not a mistake that they took a look at what's happening worldwide, and they will offer promotions around products that are essential to today's time and what's going on. So for the last 2 months, what they did was they offered what we call a Power Immune Support Pack, because it's the compromised immune system that's been where you find the virus has plagued individuals. Commonly, it's because of the breakdown of the immune system. So together, they have created this promotion pack where we're going to provide ginger and we're going to provide turmeric, which is the common staple product of the company. That's what it was built off and around. But we're going to also add tea tree oil, essential tea tree oil, which helps to fight off viral infections. We're going to compile this package together. We're going to give it to the people at the cost of what you would pay for just ginger and turmeric alone with our company. But we're going to do more. We're going to also add a free membership for 1 year with no obligations attached to that package. And we're going to take away any shipping and handling.
How much?
$76, $64 if you want to continue to get your ginger and turmeric monthly.
So $76 base if you just want to buy out, you get the immune pack, and $64 if you do a
monthly.
Okay. Well, how do people get in touch with you? Because we're going to move on personally, because that to your personal life. So how do people get in touch with you to do something like that if they wanted to buy that pack or talk about Bula Vita?
They could call me directly. And they could call me at 202-652-8010, or they can email me at lewiscoyan@gmail.com, or they can hit me up on IG at Coyan Armani.
I think you need to spell
at Coyan Armani, COYANARMANI.
Real little. Help us out. Okay. COYAN, y'all. That's Coyan. So, yeah, definitely. That's what you email her for that immune pack. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back and run into like personally because you have children and Blue is out of school.
Yes.
Your son. So kind of tell us how that's affected like your personal life with your children and having them home and that type of thing.
I had always, I can't say always, there was a time in my life I had considered homeschooling. I'll just leave it at that. No, it's been met with a little bit of challenge, I think, in the beginning, just making the adjustment. And what I found was, and I just started just learning and listening to like reading blogs and such, but I had learned that my daughter was like really struggling with not being able to connect with her peers.
Yeah.
So of all things, that the greatest struggle was the fact that she had been missing her friends. And I couldn't understand because it was taking on a shape of something that I wasn't used to, and just trying to get her engaged and out of the room. It was just like, okay, this is getting kind of scary. But with all that said, after I started reading and, I started talking to other parents, I learned, oh, this is real. This is real. So it was just announced today that I just got the announcement before we got on this line that her school system is closed for the remainder of the year. But I'm happy to say that having her brother home, her brother is an actor, as you know.
Wait a minute. What school system is that? Let's hear what school system?
Prince George's County.
It's closed for the year as of 5/20.
I got the announcement today, and everybody should have gotten the announcement because it came out robocall, text.
Wow, amazing. So yeah. Prince George's schools in Maryland is closed for the year, 5/6.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yes. And then my son, so my daughter is a middle schooler. She's 7th grade. And then I've also learned that middle school 7th grade also comes with some different sorts of, it requires a different level of attention.
Right. There's some hormonal things happening.
Yes.
I was not ready, or I had just forgotten, because then I have, on the other hand, I have a 25-year-old son. His name is Mr. He's an actor. He lives in Brooklyn, New York. But when we were watching first, that being the mecca of this virus here in the States, we're in touch on a regular basis. I told him, I said, you need to come home and just, turn the basement into your studio, whatever you need to do. And, it took a minute, but he got here. And when I tell you, having my children here, and it's going into it's 2.5 months now. It has been a wonderful experience. It's been a wonderful experience. We make time for family time, game time, movie time. Even I've had to make some adjustments because I work my job and my business all into the night. But then I was realizing you got to stop. You got to be present. You got to, get back to the basics, taking part of why we're probably in this predicament that we're in, Get back to the basics. Because I was honestly grinding as hard as if I were still going out of the house every day. And I was like, a couple times, more than a couple, there were times where I was feeling guilty. Like, my goodness, I'm operating up in here like I'm a single woman, like only it's just me, but still giving life and attention to my youngest. But I had to stop myself because I felt like my energy was like, you got to keep going. And something said, no, you have to stop. And it has been refreshing, and it has actually helped to turn some things around so that, we in here singing Kumbaya.
Listen, this is a great thing because we've been in this now for like a month and a half, or 2 months. And I think we're almost getting used to this abnormal situation. It's amazing, the human spirit. It can adjust.
Yeah.
And we are adjusting, even though we're still uncertain. and we're not completely sure what's coming up next or when this is over. But as I think in our households and with our relationships, we're really looking for more than just that surface connection now. You know, we're looking for that deeper place. Even with my friends, my conversations are deeper.
Yes.
You know, when we talk, it's like, you know, we talk about some real stuff. So COVID-19 I think is connected a lot of us.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure some people feel disconnected, but I feel more connected. And I think, like you said, with your daughter, with children, we're finding how important the socialization process is for children.
Yes.
How important it is for them to be around their age group and interact with other children. And when they don't have it, it hurts them and it kind of stunts their growth. It's very important for them to socialize. And we took it for granted, but school is important in a lot of other ways other than instruction.
Very true. Very true.
That's what I think. Yeah. So we're at the part of the interview where we do a last will and testament. And that is the jewel. You know, that's the, like you said, the kumbaya. That means, you know, you set something down for the people, inspire them, you know, give them a piece of you that's going to help them go forward. Hit your jewel, Coyan. Amani Lewis.
No matter what you are faced with, step outside of yourself, seek a higher source, reach out. Don't allow yourself to be stuck in whatever you think is that the end all be all. Reach out, reach up, look up to the hill, call for help. Tell yourself this too shall pass, and step up and step out of where you are. But call for help if you need it. That is something that I've had to do on many occasions. And I'm thankful to God to be here. But I have been in enough places to recognize what my stuff, there's so much else that's going on out here and people need our help. People need help. So just look to the hill from whence cometh your help, and just know, even what we are in the midst of, there's a reason for it. And this too shall pass. But tap into that part of yourself, that best part of yourself, and let it evolve. That's it.
Be creative. Awesome. G?
Coyan, thank you so much for spending some time with us here at Black Box Radio. It's really important that we have a voice like yours in this moment. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation. I do not take this lightly.
For all of our listeners right now, if you've enjoyed this conversation, you can find all of the voices of the Rona Report and all the interviews that we've had on Black Box Radio going all the way back to 9/19/19 at blackboxradio.com. That's BLAKBOXXRADIO.com. You can also find Black Box Radio on Instagram and Facebook, and find us on Twitter at BoxBlack. That's BOXXBLAK.
All right. This is the Rona Report. It is 5/6/20. Coyan Lewis, you're amazing. Thanks for your genius. We appreciate you. Got to come back.
Thank you, Queen.
It's all love over here.
Yes.
Stay safe. Damaja and Blue, keep everybody together. I know you're the general over there.
Come on.
All right. All right. So, guys, we're at the Black Box Radio Rona Report, 5/6/20. We've had Coyan Lewis. We're out. Peace.